Okay, so today we're gonna play a little game, and I want you guys to play with me in the comments. It's just you have to choose three countries. You're going to become a citizen of those three countries. You're going to be able to live, work, whatever in those three, but you're never going to be able to leave those countries. So, for example, if you choose, I don't know, Canada, Mexico, and America, you can live in between them. You're a citizen of all three of them, but you could never go anywhere else. Like maybe if you needed to pass by an airport or something like that, it would be allowed, but otherwise you would just have to stay in those three countries rest of your life, and no strings attached. Okay, so what would my three countries be? I feel like I have to pick different vibes. So I have to pick like a country for nature. I have to pick a country that's like good for work, labor, for that kind of thing. I have to pick a country that is good for like art, history, old kind of things vibe. But I also have to pick a country that's like more up and coming, more modern, with convenience and that kind of stuff, so they can at least like change in between those countries. So if I can find a country that combines as many of those elements as possible, would be good. And then just put one or two other countries on top of that, like a cherry fruit or something, to really make the perfect combo. And the first country that I just have to put up there in those three countries is America, just because it's so huge, it's so amazing nature-wise. It's insane, honestly. It's 300 million people in a single country. It's I don't know how many square miles in a single country, like third or fourth biggest country in the world land-wise, and it truly is huge. And it has everything. You can surf, you can ski, you can go to the mountains, you can go to the sea, you can go to the forest. There's like swamps, there's rainforest, there's trees, there's Alaska, for God's sake, and it's still in the same country. There's Hawaii. So it really is just like a big combo of a country nature wise, which is insane. And then for the labor market, it is also like, if you're going to need to find a job in all of those three countries, in my hypothetical situation, it's hard to find a country that's going to beat the US in terms of like salaries and purchasing power and all that. And I do like the suburban living, the having a big home in the suburbs and just driving with your car where you need, and like very flat streets, and your kids can bike around on the streets and that kind of vibe. And I feel like that energy, that vibration, it's best met in America. You could argue Canada as well, but then you lose half of the not cold climates. And you could choose Australia as well for that, also a big country and all that, but then you lose the cold climate vibe. Whereas America has both, and on top of that, it has an even better labor market. So first country, America. Okay, so second country, I'm definitely going to go for art, history, architecture, that kind of vibe, and that automatically points us to Europe. It doesn't have to be. Egypt, for example, has insane history, that kind of vibe. Middle East, Asia as well. But as a Westerner, I feel like, I don't know, because yeah, maybe I would pick Asia for my third country, but then you miss Latin America. It's kind of hard. This game is hard, but yeah, I think I'll go for Europe, and I feel like the best bang for your buck in Europe is probably Italy. I mean, hands down. I mean, if you could just choose one country, maybe you should choose Switzerland. It would be like, it's got labor, and it's got mountains, and it's got like cute little towns and all that. But if you're already going to work in the US and you have access to that labor market, then maybe Italy is more of a bang for your buck than Switzerland. Just because, honestly, if you go to Lake Como, if you go to Milan, you definitely, or Bolzano, or like just anything really north in Italy, you're still gonna feel kind of that Swiss vibe near the mountains, a little bit more developed, that kind of thing. But then you have everything south of that that's also amazing, that gives you more of a Greece vibe, that gives you more of a Portugal vibe, a Spain vibe. You can really find every single vibe. I mean, there are even parts of Italy, little parts where they speak French. There are little parts where, for example, Bolzano or Trento, where they speak German. So it really is a diverse country, and it's right in the middle of Europe. So, well, you won't be able to travel because you can't leave the country, right? But it still managed to like get a little bit of every single culture in Europe. So I think for my history, architecture, European vibe, I think I would choose Italy. And then there's a third country that's so hot. It's really hard to choose. I think I would be between Latin America and Asia. I'm more of a Westerner, so Latin America is kind of a little bit more home for me, definitely, obviously. But I don't know. I feel like maybe having a very different culture from Asia could also be cool. Like, I would consider Japan, but I've never even been to Japan. Like, it's complicated to actually choose a country you've never been to, you know? I hope to go there soon, maybe next year. And I don't know. I could also say Australia, where I'm living right now, or New Zealand, or something like that. But I think a lot of what you get in Australia in that sense, you could get in either, and mostly in America, or I don't know. Well, the UK would also be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, the cute little things and it's hard. Thank God I don't have to actually do it and only live in three countries, but it would be definitely hard. So first America, second Italy, not Australia, not New Zealand. I'm considering Asia, and nah, I think Japan. Like Japan would be really cool, but I haven't been to Japan, so I would not say Japan. And also, I've never even been to Asia, for God's sake. Not yet. I'll go soon. I promise. It's complicated, but then also Japan has kind of a similar structure to Italy. You know how it's like a thin from up, all the way down, and it's got a lot of mountains and stuff. So I feel like, yeah, I think I'll solidly go for Latin America, and then obviously best country in Latin America, Brazil, big, diverse, very mixed. That's one thing you can definitely say about Brazil. And Rio is absolutely gorgeous. Like it's insanely beautiful. So yeah, funny. Yeah, finally, I've been very sincere with myself now, and yeah, I would choose America, Italy, and Brazil. It does give you a little bit of like, I feel like those countries are somewhat going in the wrong direction, like government wise and spending wise and debt wise, like public debt, and they're all a little bit bureaucratic. Italy is the most one by far. America's the least, but come on, if America's the least bureaucratic out of three countries, then you know the other two countries are really bad. Uh, so I was tempted. I was tempted to choose Switzerland. I was tempted to choose the UK. I was tempted to choose Japan. But no, I'm gonna go solid. I think you could only go to three countries. Italy is the best bang for your buck for art, history, and architecture. It gives you very diverse setting. America is by far the best for nature, like by far. It's insanely diverse. You really do get a bit of everything, and it's also the best for the labor market. Sorry to say. I mean, bustling cities as well. I mean, there's. I love New York. Every time I've been to New York. It's so good. New York is insane. And then yeah, Brazil is a good combo. Gives you, I mean, biggest country in Latin America. You go to Rio to São Paulo, gives you a little bit of the Latino country culture, but with still with a little bit of an edge, you know, a little bit of a different vibe because of the Portuguese and all that. Definitely beautiful nature-wise, very diverse nature-wise as well. Not as much as the U.S., but a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to those three. Tell me in the comments which ones you would choose. Three countries. You're a citizen of all three of them, but you can never leave. You can only live in between them. All right. Cheers.